Hold one hand down. Oh my god.
Like this?
This is disastrous for you.
Good morning, YouTube. What's up, everybody? I hope you're safe and healthy and happy and doing okay. Yes, those are my wet running clothes. Don't judge me. So Saucony reached out to me and told me they were going to be sending me a package. They said a crate. They're sending me a crate. No, not that kind of crate. Some kind of other crate. Anyways, I figured we'd open it on camera. Here's the box. I don't think I've really ever done an unboxing on this channel, so this might not be great. Okay. This isn't as satisfying or as stealthy as some other YouTubers do it. I can't even open this box. Okay. All right. Show them that. Show them that, camera girl. This is a real hammer. This is a real life hammer. Pushing yourself takes courage. Use hammer. Wait, there really are instructions.
I told you.
Set up phone to record. Use hammer claw to pry open the top. Throw down the hammer. Your best is yet to run.
Wow.
All right, here we go. Here's the hammer. This is a legit, like, real life hammer. And I gotta say, Saucony, you really believe in me more than I believe in myself, because I don't think I'm gonna be able to pry this open. Okay, do we see this? It says, warning, contents inside move at intense speed. Holy crap.
It means like this way. Give me that.
Like this?
No, I think of here.
Oh.
I don't know. Be careful. Hold one hand down. Oh my god.
Like this?
This is disastrous for you.
Ah! Are you okay?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Just like, you know.
Oh no.
Hold on. No.
I want to open the thing. Whoa, there you go. Be careful with what? I'm
Oh, you're...
Oh.
Okay, so pick it up.
All right. Well, no thanks to Ariana. The crate is open.
Meanwhile, all thanks to me. Saucony.
All right.
Wow.
This is the craziest package I've ever gotten. That's kind of fun.
Excuse
me,
me,
trying to do
yes.
an unboxing.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Trying to do an unboxing here. Do you mind?
Oh my gosh.
Saucony Endorphin Elite. That is nice looking shoe.
Oh.
Crazy looking.
Yeah, wild. Totally.
Come on, Sue.
Go get her.
All right, I'll take these out for a spin on another day. The things I do for you guys. we get started today, obviously you guys know Saucony sent me this shoe, but they're not telling me what to say. They're not going to see this video before you, and all of my opinions are my own. But Saucony, if you are watching this, I just want to apologize for completely destroying that beautiful packaging that you sent me. It became clear to me that other YouTubers and shoe reviewers had a lot easier time opening that box. So I'm not quite sure what we did wrong, but we're just gonna move on from that. But apologies, it was a beautiful box. So I'm gonna tell you my thoughts on this shoe, but before I do that, I think it's a good idea if I kind of try to explain what this shoe is and what Saucony intends for this shoe to be. If you're familiar with the Endorphin line, you know that there's the Endorphin Shift, there's the Endorphin Speed, there is the Endorphin Pro, and then sitting at the top of those Endorphin shoes will be the Endorphin Elite right here. Now, along with a lovely tech sheet, Saucony also provided me with some frequently asked questions about the shoe. And one of them is this shoe for racing only? And what they say about that is race day is special and your shoe should be too. So yes, they did engineer this primarily for racing, but they do recommend that you get some training runs in it before you toe the line of any race, marathon, what have you. We'll dive a little bit deeper into that once we get to the midsole portion of the review. But first, let's kick it off with the upper. Saucony is calling this material their performance knit mesh. It is extremely thin, very lightweight, and highly breathable. If you're looking for an upper with a little support, you're probably not gonna find it here. There is some structure to the midfoot to just keep you on the platform, but it's pretty minimal. And if you go to the back to the heel counter, there is no structure to that really. I can flop it right down. Flop, flop. Couple of other things I want to point out about this upper is that the tongue is extremely thin. It's just like a piece of fabric with mesh. It is gusseted, and in that heel counter area, there's no padding around like the ankle, but there is some padding right behind the heel counter where like the Achilles would sit. So you get a little bit, but again, it's pretty minimal. In terms of fit, I'd say it's pretty average. I did have a nice amount of room in the toe box, but one thing that I did notice about the toe box area is that the mesh on top feels like it might be like a little bit shallow and was pressing on the top of my toes a bit. So towards the end of my 5-mile run, I was getting a little bit of rubbing or what seemed to be the beginning of maybe some irritation. So if I take this on a longer run, I'm gonna have to see if that gets worse. Overall, I didn't have any real issues with this upper besides that slight irritation in the forefoot, but I will be honest, I do prefer a little more structure. I did think that going around some turns in this shoe while I was picking up the pace, it was a little iffy just because this is so kind of flimsy back here. It's not meant to, you know, be this sturdy shoe, but at the same time, I need a little bit more than this usually. But other than that, I didn't have any issues with hot spots, did have a little bit of irritation, and no issues with blisters, thankfully, in the Endorphin Elite's upper. So I'm kind of iffy about it. Now with the upper out of the way, let's talk about this crazy looking midsole. Saucony is actually debuting a brand new foam for this shoe. They're calling it their Power Run HG. This foam is supposed to provide even more rebound, even more energy return, and it's going to be exclusively in this shoe. Not only that, but you also have a more propulsive carbon plate here that has been engineered to be more aggressive, and an even more aggressive speed roll technology than what you're used to in something like the Pro or the Speed. So to give you some background on the kind of run that I did in this shoe, I did a 5-mile run and I did a half-mile on and a half-mile off. So I'll put the run stats here somewhere so you can see kind of what we were working with. But during my faster half miles, I really tried to pick up the pace because this shoe is supposed to be built for racing. It's funny because in the tech sheet, which I'm reading now for the first time, it says the word aggressive a couple times, and that is exactly the word that comes to mind when I think about the ride of this shoe. And it's not necessarily a negative thing, but it is definitely aggressive. When I was in my faster half miles in the Endorphin Elite, it really felt like this midsole was rocketing me forward. Honestly, I was a little bit rusty, haven't done a speed workout since late summer, early fall, but this helped me get up on my toes in a major way, and kind of like nothing that I have experienced in recent shoes that I've reviewed. The speed roll mixed with that carbon plate felt like I was falling off a cliff when I got up to like this area in my stride. However, the aggressive ride is a little too much for me personally. Towards the end of my run, maybe like the last two faster half miles that I did, I was starting to get a little bit of discomfort and pain, I guess you could say, on the balls of my feet. It was not the most comfortable ride, and honestly, I think I prefer the Endorphin Pro over the ride of the Endorphin Elite. I appreciate their motive with the Endorphin Elite, but I think that I'd rather sacrifice some of that propulsion and get a little more comfort in something like the Pro 3. But that being said, this shoe did feel a little bit better at my like slower pace that I was running that day, which is kind of like what my marathon pace has been. But another positive about this shoe is that it was a lot more stable than I thought it was going to be. I took a look at this and I thought, oh boy, this is going to be an overpronation party for my foot. And yeah, I did overpronate a little bit as expected, but not nearly as bad as I thought I was going to. So all you overpronators out there, don't completely write this shoe off if stability is the only thing holding you back. The Power Run HG foam does feel a little bit firmer, a little more aggressive, and just more souped up than the Power Run PB does. It's really going to depend on what you want out of a shoe. If you want it to be the most race efficient thing possible, then the Endorphin Elite is gonna be what you're gonna wanna grab. But if you don't wanna sacrifice a little bit of comfort and you like the Pro 3 and it's worked for you, I might tell you to just stick with that shoe. All right, so let's move on down to the outsole. Saucony is using their thinnest layer here of XT900 rubber, and in my experience, it held up really well. I took this shoe out on a dry day, so there wasn't really any inclement weather to really test out what the outsole is capable of, but XT900 rubber seems to be pretty good in my experience. There's no real wear on the tread pattern yet. Let's hope not. I only ran 5 miles in it. And on the medial side here, you have the exposed foam, and that seems to be holding up fairly well after one run. So now let's talk about the price. This shoe will be available on February 21st for $275. Now, if you're not familiar with it, the Endorphin Pro 3 is $224.95 on runningwarehouse.com right now. It is a pretty big hike upward, and I get it. This is supposed to be their ultimate shoe. Like, it doesn't get any better than this for racing. And if you like something like the Alpha Fly, you're already familiar with paying the big bucks for a racing shoe. In my personal opinion, if you are between the Pro 3 and the Endorphin Elite and you don't really want to spend the extra money, but you will if the shoe's better, I would tell you to save the extra money, put it in your pocket for a rainy day, and get the Pro 3. You're still gonna get a carbon plate, a premium foam, and for a lot less money. But if fast is what matters to you, high performance is what matters to you, and the best of the best is what matters to you, then cough it up, $275 for the Endorphin Elite. If you're interested in picking up a pair of either the Pro 3 or the Endorphin Elite, I will link them down below. Keep in mind, these will be affiliate links with Running Warehouse. However, it doesn't mean much for you. It just helps out my channel so I can keep making these videos. As for me, I don't think that the Endorphin Elite is the best fit. I think it's a really, almost dropped it. I think it's a really cool looking shoe with super interesting technology, and it's innovative, and I gotta give it to Saucony for creating this souped up little beast. but I don't think it's the souped up little beast that I will be wearing as frequently. But I don't know, I might keep running in the shoes just to see if I get a little bit more acclimated or something, we'll see. But either way, I gotta thank Saucony for the awesome packaging that the shoe came in and for my hammer, love that, thank you. And for giving me the opportunity to try this shoe out early, because it is super cool, and good job Saucony for making it. I love the way it looks too. Well everyone, that concludes my first run impressions of the Saucony Endorphin Elite. If you enjoyed this video, please like it down below and subscribe, and when you're done with all that, hit the notifications bell so you can find out every time I upload a new video. If you're not into the crazy green, there is a slightly more subdued color coming in April, so stick around for that. I have another video for you next week, but in the meantime, get out there, get on the grind, and don't forget to run like Heller. See you next time.